In this video, I talked to Luke Curtis about electronic press kits. Coming up. Hey, it's Graham from Data Transmission. I'm the editor-in-chief, and in this channel we help you with your profile. We help you look at things like social media, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and also approaching how to approach press and what you need to get, what you need around it. One of these things is definitely an electronic press kit. It makes my life a lot easier, that's for sure. Having all the right places, things in the right place. So I spoke to Luke, and he brought him on the big question. Luke Curtis is a photographer. He's a what a dude. He takes some amazing photos. If you've not heard of him, go and check him out on his channel and on his socials. Today I welcome him on the big question. So hey Luke, how you doing? Your big question is, what is an electronic press kit? What do you need in it? And why would you use it? Over to you.
How you doing, Graham? Thanks for having me on the big question. So for those that don't know me, my name is Luke Curtis and I'm a freelance photographer that works in the electronic dance music industry. So my job is basically geared up around shooting events and also working one-to-one with DJs and record labels to be able to produce images that will effectively go into a press kit, or what's known as an EPK. So this week's big question is, should I have an EP? Why should I have an EPK, and what should go in it? So to start off with, the first part of that question is, why should you have an EPK? So your electronic press kit is effectively your CV as a DJ in the music industry. Now, you wouldn't turn up for a job interview without a CV. That would be massively unprofessional. And as our industry starts to evolve and it becomes more commercial and there's so many more elements towards it, it's crucially important that you present yourself as professionally as possible. And that's where an EPK comes into it. So just think of it as your CV, and within that CV there's quite a lot of depth that you can go to, but you can also strip it down. So at the beginning of your career, you may not have a discography, which is basically the history of your musical releases. You may not have that, but later on you will be able to have that, and you will be able to add that to your EPK. So just like a CV, your EPK is forever evolving, and it should be living and breathing. It should direct off into all of your social media platforms, and it should really represent your personal brand. The moment you stop updating your social media platforms and you stop updating your EPK is the moment it starts becoming stagnant. And again, I reference to a CV. If you was to go into a job interview and you'd missed your last 2 jobs that you were in, and there's a big massive gap in your work history, people are going to look at that and frown upon it and start to ask questions. And that's not what you want them to do. The questions you want them to ask is like, when can we get him in and how can we book him? So you want to be able to gear it up towards that. In terms of the stuff you should have in an EPK to be able to present it as best as possible, so some of the things are your biography, which is basically a description of your musical journey. So things like what's inspired you, who have you warmed up for, who have you closed for, and some real accolades throughout your career. It's effectively your sales pitch. Then you need to be going off into your musical links. So are you connected on SoundCloud? Do you have, where is your music hosted? Where can you direct people to so they can listen to your sound? From there, you're also going to need a logo. How do you present yourself? Every major brand in the world has a logo that is consistent with their brand everywhere they use it across the world. And you as a DJ or an aspiring DJ need to do exactly the same. Work out a logo, be happy with it, stick with it, use it everywhere. The more you use it, the more people become familiar with it, and the better that logo best represents you and can be easily identified. So we've got our logo. Then from there, we also want to be looking at things like your press shots, which is really important. So there's so many times, and this is where my job really comes into play. There's a lot of times I see DJs that have taken pictures on mobile phones and things like that. Your image gives a really, really good reflection of who you are and how you value yourself in the industry. So the moment you put up subpar images that really don't represent you and are not done professionally, that sends one message. It just says you're not really taking this seriously. A bit like turning up to a job interview with your CV written out in crayons. You just wouldn't do it. So images are really important. So my advice would be basically, work with a professional photographer such as myself to get the best possible images that represent your personal brand and also your sound. Then you also need things like links into your social media pages, and then the last one is, these are kind of the essential parts. The last one is how to book you. There's no point going to all of this detail, putting all this information into your EPK and forgetting out how you can book. And just as a closing tip, in the booking part, my strongest piece of advice I could ever give is buy a personalized email address. Don't have davedj@google.com. Have info@davedj.com. It makes such a difference in terms of your professionalism as how you will be perceived in the industry. And marketing is all about directing perception. And if you can do that right, you'll have a very successful career. So Graham, thank you very much for having me on The Big Question. Guys, I hope you found that very useful, and yeah, hopefully see you soon. Take care.
Thanks for tuning into The Big Question today. I hope you found this valuable. If you did, then please like this video and drop some comments below. I really want to hear from you guys and see if you're really enjoying them. Then that'd be brilliant. Also, if you want a subject matter tackled, then please put it in the comments below, and I'll get it answered for you. We're putting up regular content on this channel, at least 2 premieres a day, and we also put up video content throughout the week as well, through our Big Question series, and also our tips series, which is going to be growing very soon. Please smash that bell, and then you'll get them first every time. Thanks again for tuning in.